What it do, man? It's your boy Battle Truth coming to you live and direct from the Battle Truth headquarters. Let's get right off into this, man. Now, since Big U have been indicted and locked up and incarcerated while he's fighting this case, a lot of evidence is now starting to come out on him. A lot of people feel more comfortable and safe to talk about the things he was doing and the things that they believe he actually was a part of now since he's gone. And in that comfortability of their safety, there's a lot of things now surfacing on the internet that could be even more troubling and even more damaging towards Big U. That may even lead to more charges coming down on Big U as the internet continue to do what the internet do. Gather all the information, research, and go back into the history and actually line things up to actually show a targeted, repeated pattern that was taking place of what these guys continue to do and self-snitching and telling on themselves and can't hold water and wanting to be worship respected and honored and wanting to be exalted. They want to be praised and honored and exalted. So that's the crazy thing about what you're seeing going on when these brothers doing the things that they doing. Now, the crazy thing about it is, as more people continue to get more confident and the longer he's gone away, more and more evidence and more things continue to come out against this brother and all the things he was doing behind the scenes. A lot of shaky and shifty dealings that was going on with this brother operation he was doing. You know, anytime you're dealing with gangs, it's going to always be a problem because it's corruption to begin with. There's no loyalty in it. It's only a bunch of guys together who looking to cutthroat others in one another. And that's all it is. That's all it is. Anytime you get a group of guys together, trust me, there is going to be no unity within those circles. There's a lot of hate that goes unnoticed. There's a lot of jealousy that goes on that's unchecked. And the thing about it is, these lead to a lot of things that when they get arrested, they have no problem with telling on each other. They have no problem with getting rid of one another because it's all bumping for spots and opportunities when they present themselves. And when you're the so-called leader, you get so comfortable believing that you're the big dog that you continue to cutthroat others, not knowing that you actually setting yourself up also. Now, with that being said, when you seeing what's taking place here, this brother, okay. Now they trying to say that before Eric Holder killed Nipsey Hussle, he may have got the okay from Big U. Now, if y'all know some of the history between Big U and Nipsey Hussle, I know Big U was trying to start his own label and he wanted artists up under him. So he wanted to be connected also in the industry and things like that and to get some of that money from the industry. So Nipsey Hussle, he wanted to be a part of his label and his business. Nipsey Hussle one day, go to New York out there and to handle business, and people got to putting them up on business. Then what end up happening is Nipsey Hussle had a change of heart, basically letting it be known when it came to Big U, like, look, I'm gonna do things my own way. I ain't gonna go up under, what you doing. Big U allegedly felt some type of way about this, which led to basically the friction that they had between one another and the rumors that said that Big U ended up meeting up with Nipsey Hussle and so-called knocking him out. Now, let's just be honest. People don't tend to forget things like that on neither side. And one of the reasons why they believe in now that Big U may have had something to do with the death of Nipsey Hussle because of these two clips I'm going to play. It's just something that we just know. Like when Nipsey died, you know, Big U be trying to make it seem, he was trying to make it seem like it's all love and this and that. You didn't even go to the man's funeral. That's very telling. That's very, very telling. When you know this is a guy who well respected, known, you have ties with him, and for you not to show up at his funeral is really, really very, very telling. Very, very telling. Now, in this video clip, I'm going to show where Big U was online and one of the persons online saying justice for Nipsey, and he began to mockingly laugh at the statement being said. Now, would you do that to a person who actually had love for this man, had nothing to do with this brother, if that statement was being said? If that statement was said, you would be like, yeah, justice was done, you know. But let's see Big U response to this when it was brought up before him. Let's see what he said.
Justice for them.
So they began to laugh at it mockingly. Why would you laugh at that? What's so funny about that when you see how that man was murdered and killed, took him from his wife, took him from his children, took him from his family, so senseless, undeserving, when he trying to do something good. And when you see the things that y'all now being investigated on and indicted on, extorting companies, black companies, why would this be any different? Especially if he also claiming the so-called set that you the leader of, and you already had a history of knocking him out. Why wouldn't you try to extort him either? In fact, Wack 100 was actually exposing Big U on something like this also, saying that he was trying to extort Nipsey Hussle's wife as a result of some type of alleged tapes that was out there on Nipsey Hussle. But this is actually the playing field that you've been indicted on, by which people know this is how you get down. So why would this be any different? I wouldn't doubt in no type of way that you didn't try to extort this man on his Marathon brand or anything he was doing and operating in California based upon what you're saying. This is how y'all got down in your check-in campaign that you had. Why would this be any different in any type of way? Especially if you're the so-called leader of the gang. I'm pretty sure you're going to even try to not only tax others, but tax your own too. Because I know that comes with gangs. When we was doing our gang banging years and the things I was doing, we had to pay dues and taxes. That was a part of the law. Every member of the gang had to pay a monthly due or tax. Why would this be any different when we understand the politics of what comes with gangs? So I'm pretty sure something like that was presented, if not going on. And I know Nipsey probably would have felt some type of way about it, seeing that it's from a guy who allegedly knocked me out too, and now you want to tax me? Allegedly. We don't know the truth. But that right there was very telling, that you laugh at the man knowing how he died and he's supposed to be your little bro, and you found that funny. Something wrong with that picture. And this right here was very incriminating and telling when Loose Cannon began to explain what happened on the day that Nipsey Hussle got killed.
These accusations would only get stronger after a self-proclaimed enforcer of Big U, Loose Cannon, would confess to the world on the No Jumper podcast that Henley previously knew that Nipsey would be murdered a half an hour before it occurred.
So he FaceTimed me and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got killed. I'm like, 6-0. I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him. I called Nipsey and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it?
Nipsey answered.
Nipsey answered. He answered the phone. So after I talked to Nipsey and I was like, yeah, I love you, cuz, or whatever like that. I see you later or whatever. So I hung up the phone. I thought Big U gave wrong information. 30 minutes later, the homies blowing me up like they just killed Nipsey.
You get a call from Big U telling you Nipsey just got killed.
Yeah.
You panic, call Nip. Nip answer the phone.
Yeah.
And 30 minutes after you get out the phone with Nip, he get killed.
Yeah, I got it.
So you think he hit you a little too early?
Yep, he hit me a little bit too early.
This episode would be removed.
Okay, think about that. Here's Loose Cannon, one of Big U's enforcers who carry out business on behalf of the mob for Big U. Big U calls him on the phone like, Nipsey just got killed. Loose Cannon like, what? Ain't nobody hit me up and told me nothing about that, you know? So he hangs up the phone and see, and when he said, when Loose Cannon said this part, I hang up and I call Nip, I could relate to that because I remember I got the call that someone dear and close to me had died. And I immediately called their phone because you're still in unbelief at this time. So I immediately called their phone. The answering machine picked up. Called again and the answering machine picked up. The voicemail. So I immediately recorded the voicemail just so I could just have something of his. The person I'm talking about is actually my father. But yeah, when I got the news my father had died, I was in unbelief because it came so sudden, unexpected. And I called, the voicemail picked up. Called again, the voicemail picked up. So I recorded it, his voicemail, just so that I could have his voice. So when Loose Cannon say, when he got that news from Big U, and he hung up and he called Nipsey, I could relate to that. Because he wanted to, he in unbelief still. He wanted to know how true it is. He called, but Nipsey picks up. He like, oh man, they just said you got shot, basically. Then 30 minutes later, he actually do get killed. Think about that. So basically, this is what's alleged. That Big U allegedly sanctioned the hit that Eric Holder carried out on Nipsey Hussle. Because remember, they all a part of the same gang. Big U, the leader. You really ain't hit. Look, listen, I don't know the politics of how Crips and Blood works out there, but I know for the most part, you can't carry out that hit without getting hit. I'm just keeping it 100, like how we are down here, how we used to be. You know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, Loose Cannon, and this what I'm saying, these brothers be talking too much anyway. Big U, I could tell Big U wanted them to do. And that go to show you how Big U may have wanted it to happen so bad he couldn't wait to spread the news. But he's spreading it too soon before it actually get carried out, allegedly. So he see, that's when a person plotting on your downfall. When a person just want it to happen so bad, he just can't keep it to himself. He don't even wait till the hit actually be carried out, till he already letting it be known to one of his trusted chief enforcers who then done a lot of dirt for him and with him, by which he can confide in him with this information. So that he could be like, I told you before it even happened what was about to happen. So notice he called Loose Cannon to tell him, and this is how people were saying that he may allegedly sanction the hit. Because why didn't you call Nipsey Hussle to let him know, like, hey, if you had this knowledge, somebody on the way to come kill you, bro. Get up out of there, strap up, and move around. Why you never told that to Nipsey? But you called Loose Cannon to confirm a hit that ain't even been carried out yet, that then happened 30 minutes later? Yeah, something wrong with that picture. Something wrong with that picture. Loose Cannon calls Nip. Nip answers. He like, you good? Like, yeah. Like, man, they just told me you got shot. Like, no, ain't nobody see what? Nip should have took advice. Nip should have took a head up even on that right there after getting a call like that. But again, when you into that life, sometimes look, when I'm telling you, when your mind ain't open and the devil is influencing you, and your God, and you ain't locked in with God. See, I would have peeped that right away, being locked in with God. I would have peeped that right away. Like, hold on, they said who just got shot? I would have immediately prepared myself and in every way possible, knowing that somebody plotting on me and this probably about to go down. Matter of fact, I'm off the phone. Let me get up off this phone right now and get. So before Eric Holder could allegedly even carry out the hit, Big U was already telling Loose Cannon it was already done. And then 30 minutes later, Nipsey Hussle actually get gunned down and killed. How would he know? How would Big U know this information? How would he be aware of this? More than 30 minutes after it happened. Because remember, it happened 30 minutes later, which meant Big U even had to allegedly contemplate even calling Loose Cannon to even let him know. When he already knew. So it was even longer than that. And 2 + 2 = 4 all the day long. Ain't no way you should have had knowledge like that if you had no knowledge of anything like that. There's no way you should have any knowledge of that if you don't have any knowledge about that in no type of way. Unless God showed it to you. And that's not the case here. This is why people were saying that he may have gave the okay and sanctioned that hit that Eric Holder put on Nipsey Hussle. Because he had the knowledge of it before it even happened. And him and Nipsey Hussle was not on good terms. And there's some type of guilt there that actually tied him into this having some type of validity to it. You didn't even go to the funeral. How you don't have nothing to do with it in no type of way, but you don't even show up to the funeral? You don't even go to the funeral at all to show your condolences and respect to the family? Neither do you. Come on. There's something wrong with that picture, man. That don't look good at all. That don't look good at all. And it's very, very telling. Very, 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 very telling. So I could see, man. That's dirty. That's shifty. Look, people need to learn, man. Pay attention and learn. Listen to these things that's going on. Pay attention to what's going on. Ain't no love in the streets. And guys that claim to be your guys ain't really your guys. That sound good. That sound good. And the same ones who you believe and one trusted in and thought to be your homies be the same ones betraying you in the end. Stay out of those streets. Get out of those gangs. Do right. Get to know who God is and walk in the power of truth and have faith and comfortability in the hedge of protection that God will put over you. These streets is nothing. It's terrible. Just a bunch of thirsty, hungry dogs out here plotting and scheming on everybody. These guys don't know how to hustle. They don't know how to get money. So they hate on those who do know how to get money. They hate on those who do know how to actually come up because they don't know how. They're very vindictive. They're very bitter. They're very jealous and they very envy. And look how deep envy and jealousy can get, that it'll actually cause you your life. Don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. Stop letting people know your business. Stop showing people what you got. Stop believing that people want your best interest and that they want to be happy for you, because they don't. Stop sharing your personal life with the internet. And it might just save your life.